Self-respect. It's one of those words we toss around a lot, but what does it actually look like to live it day in and day out? I'm not talking about ego or being arrogant. It's something much quieter, much more powerful. It's this deep down belief in your own worth. So let's get into it. We're going to unpack 10 real practical ways you can start building it. But before we get into the how-to, let's just start with a quick check-in. Take a second and look at this question. When you think about yourself, what's that gut reaction? Is it pride, kindness, or maybe it's something more critical? Hey, whatever it is, that's totally fine. That's our starting point for this whole thing. So here's a quick look at where we're headed. We'll start with what self-respect even is. Then we'll dive into mastering your inner world, which is huge. From there, we'll talk about drawing the line with others. Then it's all about acting with intention. And finally, we'll tie it all together and talk about how this becomes a daily practice. All right, let's kick things off with section 1. What is self-respect? I mean, we all kind of know what it means, but let's get really clear. Because before you can build something, you've got to know what you're building, right? This is the foundation for everything else we're going to cover. Okay, let's really look at this definition. It's the belief that you are worthy of dignity and happiness. But here's the absolute game-changing part. Independent of your achievements or the opinions of others. Let that sink in. It means your worth isn't tied to your job title or how many likes you got or whether someone approves of you. It's just there. It's unconditional.
And this brings us to a super important distinction. Self-respect is not the same thing as self-esteem. Think of self-esteem like a roller coaster. You get a promotion, it goes way up. You get some criticism, it plummets right back down. But self-respect, that's the sturdy track the roller coaster is built on. It's stable because it's based on your actions, how you treat yourself, not on fleeting feelings or what other people think.
Which is the perfect lead-in to our next section, mastering your inner world. Because honestly, this is where it all begins, right between your ears. That conversation you're having with yourself when nobody else is around, well, that pretty much defines your reality. So how do we actually do this? Well, first, you got to catch that negative self-talk. When you hear that little voice saying, you're going to mess this up, you can gently push back with, well, maybe, but I'm going to try my best. Second, you have to forgive yourself for past mistakes. I mean, really let them go. Acknowledge what happened, but don't let it be the story of you. That's a huge act of self-respect. And third, start trusting your gut. You know that little feeling when something seems right or wrong, even if you can't explain it? Honoring that is you respecting your own inner wisdom.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Every single day, you are talking to yourself all day long. The real goal is to make that conversation a supportive one, a kind one, because that's the voice that sets the tone for everything.
Okay, so we've looked inward. Now let's turn our focus outward, because self-respect isn't just an inside job. It's also about what you allow from the world around you. This is where you become the gatekeeper of your own peace, your own energy, and this is all about protecting yourself. Setting a boundary can be as simple as saying, hey, I can't check work emails after dinner. Sometimes it means having the courage to create some distance from someone who constantly puts you down. And this one is key, learning to say no without feeling guilty about it. Remember, saying no to a request isn't about rejecting the person, it's about saying yes to your own well-being. No is a full sentence. I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. We sometimes imagine boundaries as these big, angry walls to keep people out, but they're not. They're just clear, gentle signs. They're instructions to the world and to yourself about the standard of treatment you require. All right, now we're getting to the absolute heart of it, action. We've talked about the definition, our inner thoughts, our outer boundaries. But self-respect is ultimately built through the things we do, day in and day out. This is how you prove to yourself that you are trustworthy. Let's make this super practical. Step 1. Keep the promises you make to yourself, even the tiniest ones. If you said you'd go for a 10-minute walk, do it. Step 2. Nourish your body and mind. Choose to watch that interesting documentary instead of mindlessly scrolling. Step 3. Chase your curiosity. Go start that little online course you've been thinking about. And step 4, this one's so important, celebrate your wins. Did you finally organize that messy closet? High-five yourself. Acknowledge it. Every one of these is like a deposit into your self-respect account. Okay, so we've got our inner dialogue, our external boundaries, and our intentional actions. Now, in our last section, we're going to pull all of these threads together because this isn't about doing one thing. It's about how all these pieces fit together to become a way of life. And this might just be the biggest takeaway of the whole thing. There is no finish line. You don't just one day wake up and go, okay, I've achieved self-respect and check it off the list. It doesn't work like that.
It's a practice. It's a choice you make over and over again in every small decision, every single day. It's a direction you're heading, not a place you arrive. And that leads us right here to our final thought. To make any of this real, it has to start now. It has to be small and manageable. So just look at this question. What is one tiny promise you can make to yourself and keep just for today? That right there, that's where it all begins.